Welcome back, everybody, to another beautiful new comic book day Wednesday. You guys are seeing the haul. We got 11-ish pickups here with a little bit of a bonus I'll show you guys in a second. We'll also get into my pick of the week. I just want to tell you what's in the rest of the video. Besides the comic book haul, we're picking out my October horror comic book reads. We're also talking about some series that DC has recently canceled. We do like a little memorial service for them, man. And then we do some comic book reviews to close out the video. But let's get into the comic book haul because that's what it's all about, man. So Wednesday, October 1st, new comic book day. You guys are seeing it, dude. It's a big week for the Absolute Universe in particular. Big week for DC overall, but the big week for Absolute Universe because we've got, as you guys are seeing, Absolute Superman. Loving this series, Absolute Superman number 12. We've also got Absolute Evil number 1, kind of the crossover event happening with the Absolute Universe right now. We also have Absolute Green Lantern, giving it a one more issue shot. It's a last chance Al Ewing before I cancel the series for good. And then it's a big week because Batman issue number 2 is coming out. I loved issue number 1, thought it was really sick. So those are my most anticipated things to check out this week. Big week for the Absolutes, like I was saying. We also have Rook Exodus, guys. Rook's back out of Ghost Machine and Image Comics. Loving what Jeff Johns was doing here with Jason Fabok on the art. So glad Rook's back. It's been a long time. I feel like it's been like a year, 2 years, something like that, but really excited to get back into this. Got to reread the first volume, though. I think I forgot everything that happened. We also have Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 10. Loving this from the Ultimate Universe. It's my third favorite right now, right behind the Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man. Then probably I'd put this one, Ultimate Wolverine, issue number 10. We've got Justice League, the Omega Act special. This is a little one-shot, a prelude to DC KO, as you guys can see there. And yeah, excited for the overall meta narrative going on over at DC. I think it's pretty cool. So excited to get into this. Batgirl, issue number 12. She's returning to Gotham, I believe, so that should be pretty cool. Loving this. We're beginning the third arc, you can kind of say. Yeah, so really excited about Batgirl, issue number 12. I think Tate Brombal and Miyazawa still on the art. Excellent stuff there. The Adventures of Superman, Book of L number 2. I was liking what Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing with this series here. Excited to continue it. It's, Philip Kennedy Johnson's meta Superman story that he's been telling for a really long time, so excited for that. Birds of Prey number 26. Rest in peace to the birds. The series is getting canceled in a little bit, but we're going to ride it out until it's concluded, dude. So Birds of Prey number 26. Having a ton of fun. Thompson, Basby on the art. JSA, dude. This is Ragnarok Part 2. Closing out the first kind of overall arc in this JSA series. It's been going for a little bit. Jeff Lemire. Let's see how he closes this out. We're trying to see if this is a series we want to continue, guys, with issue number 12. So stay tuned for that. And then finally, last but not least, we got the DC Connect. This is for the October. Looking forward to everything coming out in December. And then they brought back the posters at my shop, guys. They shouldn't have done that. Those fools. They're making a big mistake. We have, this is the poster to, see if I can unfold it. Nice House by the Sea, as you guys can see. James Tynion IV written series. When's this coming back, by the way? But we got the poster, so that'll be going up on the comic book ceiling, on the comic book wall, man. But that's what we got for new comic book day, October 1st. As you guys can see, pretty big week. Pretty nice with the Batman 2, the Absolute series starting up, and Rook Exodus starting back up as well. So let me know what you guys are picking up. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Use the chapter down below to skip. And yeah. I'm sitting here on the floor of the comic book room. As you guys can see, all the comic book shelves behind me. We're about to choose our October reading, man. So I like to do this video every single month. We're going to go through my bookshelf, pick everything that I'm looking to read this month off the shelf, and then we're going to take it to the overhead camera and I'll show you guys just a little bit of the art and we'll talk about why I chose those for my October reading. But let's start off with the Hellboy monster-sized omnibus. This thing is ginormous. Without a shadow of a doubt, the giantest, biggest collected edition in my collection. Look how thick this thing is, man. So last year for October, I wanted to read the whole thing. We got a little burnt out on Hellboy, guys, so read about 2/3 of it. Looking to come back this month with a vengeance and read the rest of this Hellboy monster-sized omnibus. So this is kind of the omnibus choice of the month. Gonna close it out, read some more Hellboy. Let's see what else we got. Coming up here, we got the James Tynion IV section, a little bit of Jeff Lemire overflow as well, but the James Tynion IV choice of the month is gonna be Something is Killing the Children Deluxe Edition Book 1. As you guys can see, I got Deluxe Edition Book number 2 right there. Have not read any of that material, actually. I've read the material in this, some of it. This is a series I was collecting when it was coming out in singles. I upgraded to trades, stopped collecting singles, and then once this deluxe edition was coming out, I traded the trades in for the deluxe edition. So I'm in somewhere like trade paperback number 3 or something like that. So I'm looking forward to rereading Something's Killing the Children and continuing possibly with book number 2, material I have not read before yet. So that's going to be the choice, the deluxe edition for the month. James Tynion IV, War of the Deladera, Something is Killing Children, book number 1. It wouldn't be a reading month if I didn't choose something Ed Brubaker. So I'm going to choose Friday, book number 3. As you guys can see, a lot of Ed Brubaker choices here, a little bit overflow into the Jeff Lemire section, but I'm going to choose something nice and quick. Ed Brubaker, Marcos Martin, bringing us Friday, book 3, closing out this fun series. I really like the Friday main character, kind of a fun whodunit sort of world that they're living in. And yeah, small New England town, pretty fun. Friday, book number 3. And then coming over here to the trade paperback closet. Ignore all the action figures, all right? I don't have a problem. You do. We're gonna read some manga this month. We're gonna read some Junji Ito. I got this as a pre-owned, pretty cheap. We got Uzumaki, dude. I got this for $12, nice hardcover. So we got Uzumaki, the Spiral into Horror by Junji Ito. I've heard nothing but good things about this series. Got the Spiral there, and yeah, this should be our manga choice for the month of October. One more trade to close out this reading month. Nice horror, spooky read. We got Infidel. This is a series I've not read before, heard nothing but good things. We got Pinochet as the writer. Pinochet, I don't know how to say his name. Campbell on the art, but I'm really excited about this. This writer here is really blowing up, attached to a lot of different fun, creative projects. Want to read one of his horror earlier series, so this is what we got. So as you guys can see, nice big reading month. We got the Hellboy Monster Size, the Something is Killing the Children Deluxe Edition, Uzumaki for a manga pick of the month, and then 2 trades, quicker reads. We got Infidel, and we got Friday, some Ed Brubaker. Let's get these under the overhead camera. I'll show you guys a little bit of the art. So as you guys could see, it was a massive reading month. We got this nice big stack. Let's take a look at some of the art and maybe talk a little bit more about why I chose it for the month. And yeah, let's take a look at the Hellboy Monster Size first, dude. This thing is massive. Like I was showing you guys, about 2/3 done. And at some point last year, I just got a little burnt out on Hellboy. I think trying to read this much of one series, too much of anything is a bad thing, right? So let's open it up, check out some of this Mignola artwork. It's just such an unwieldy kind of thing to try to read. You got to read it in a very certain setting. It's kind of tough to grapple with this giant monster-sized thing. So it's kind of a challenge to read it last year, but once I was rolling, man, I was loving it. It's just at some point, not the same thing, because each arc is different, but maybe a little samey, I guess. It was feeling like, you know, the world's about to end, and it's this evil person again and again, kind of doing the same thing over and over again, but looking to get back into Hellboy. I was loving it. It's a classic series, obviously. Mike Mignola on the artwork. As you guys can see, the nice, beautiful, oversized pages here. So that should be pretty fun. Closing out Hellboy with the monster size, dude. This thing's massive. I recommend it for anybody trying to get the whole Hellboy series. It's pretty cool to read it like this, but I don't know, dude. It's kind of tough at the same time. Let's take a look at the Something is Killing the Children Deluxe Edition. So like I was saying, I've read a lot of this material before, I think, because this only includes Something is Killing the Children. I want to say maybe like the first 12 issues. Is that how it goes? First 12 issues. Chapter 1, we got no table of contents. So I'm not sure which issues are included in this, but I think that I'm in somewhere in trade paperback number 3. Obviously, if you guys don't know, Something is Killing the Children, classic, modern day classic series from James Tynion IV writing. It's all about this main character named Erica Slaughter, and she's going around, she's a monster hunter, and in this world, the monsters can only be seen by the kids, and obviously the kids are the one being killed by the monsters. All the adults are unable to see the monsters, and the Something is Killing Children world is kind of it's a wider world than just this one series. There's all sorts of different houses of the different slaughter families and stuff like that, learning all the different colors, and yeah, it's a really fun kind of world and perfect for the Halloween spooky season. Something is Killing the Children, book number 1. Looking to get back into it. A lot of people love this series. It's one of their favorites. I was liking it too, but at some point I just switched to the hardcovers and decided to collect this series in that way. Erica Slaughter, what a badass main character, dude. So looking forward to this. Something is Killing the Children, the Deluxe Edition Book 1. Maybe next month we can continue with book number 2. A lot of material I have not read yet, so that should be pretty fun. Next up, let's take a look at Uzumaki. So I know that this one is all about the spirals. People going crazy, looking at the spirals. Of course, the classic Junji Ito series. And yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm looking for a nice Junji Ito scare for this Halloween kind of season. Oh man, that's spooky, dude. All the different spirals going crazy. I've seen, like, you know, pictures of this, obviously. Some of the more horrifying panels and stuff like that. I don't know too much about what this series entails, besides everybody just going crazy because of these darn spirals, dude. And yeah, have not read too much Junji Ito work. In the past, I've read, what was that series? Remina, I read. And yeah, I really enjoyed Remina. I think Junji Ito, obviously a well-accomplished creator, manga creator. He's a legend. And a lot of people say that this is probably their favorite Junji Ito series. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. As far as Junji Ito stuff, where does Uzumaki rank for you, man? But looking forward to getting into it. I was super happy when I found this for $11, $12, dude. Nice hardcover. Pre-owned, but, you know, it's in good quality from what I can see. So yeah, Uzumaki, nice manga pick for the month of October. Next up, let's take a look at Infidel. So Pornsak, I'm not sure how to say his last name, dude. I really wish I could say it. I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. Pornsak, apologies, man. But got this Infidel series. I've heard nothing but good things. I really enjoy Campbell's artwork. I think he's got a really cool style, kind of like that more realistic style. But then obviously, it's got demons and stuff like that. So looking forward to this. I know it's a series that hits pretty close to home from Pornsak. It's a horror tale from the 21st century. It's an American Muslim woman and her multiracial neighbors who move into the building haunted by entities fueled by xenophobia. So give you kind of a sense of the story we're dealing with here. Last but not least, Friday, book 3, Christmas time is here again. Really loving the Friday series. It got a little sci-fi when I didn't expect it, so that was pretty cool. It's like this small New England town, kind of like the fall sort of vibes. And this Friday character is sort of trying to investigate the death of her friend. So I don't want to spoil too much, but it gives you kind of a sense of what we're dealing with here. But look at the artwork, man. So charming, so colorful. I really like this style from Marcos Martin. I love Marcos Martin's artwork. Ed Brubaker written series, so you know that the protagonist is really strong. And yeah, looking forward to closing out Friday, this whole series with book number 3. They did a deluxe edition coming out of this pretty soon, so could be that I like this so much, decide to upgrade to the full deluxe edition hardcover. So that should be pretty cool. But that's what we got, man. Everything I'm looking to read for the month of October. It's going to be a busy month, guys. Got to get to it. Got to start reading, especially with this Hellboy, dude. Because I'm a little bit worried about getting burnt out again. But hopefully, if I just have like a third of it to go, hopefully I won't get burnt out. So that's what we got, guys. Everything I'm looking to read in the month of October for spooky season. Let me know what you're planning on reading down in the comments. As always, like if you like, sub if you love, and hype if you really want to. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. Today we're talking about depression, dude, because DC Comics has canceled some of my favorite comic book series on stands. Today we're just going to talk through it, guys. This is like a memorial service of what could have been. First series we're talking about, Green Arrow, dude. They canceled Green Arrow. Listen, this was legitimately a top 5 series at DC, and they've gone and canceled the thing, man. So ever since Chris Condon took over with Montos as the artist, I've been loving this Green Arrow series, man, but I guess it wasn't doing too well sales-wise, and they decided to cancel it. So let me read it here from the writer of the series, Chris Condon. This is from his Patreon. As some of you may have seen on Blue Sky, I announced that 31 issue of Green Arrow will be the last one that I write. Thought I'd take a minute to clarify some things. He goes down here and he says that Green Arrow has never been a top seller at DC. Kind of makes sense when you have Batman dominating the charts, stuff like that, but you really wish there was room for a Green Arrow series to succeed in the market. Anyways, he talks about how it never got over the hump where DC wants the sales to be, and that's really unfortunate. If you're not selling, you're not going to continue to make for long. On top of this, DC is releasing 2 different Green Arrow series in 2026, both seemingly trending towards what Montos and I were doing with the title. So if you do the math, I think it's quite simple. DC doesn't want to have 3 titles with a character that doesn't sell particularly well. So what he's alluding to there, right? So it looks like there's going to be an absolute Green Arrow series that's starting up soon. We got, I think it's Porn Sack is going to be writing that one with Raphael Albuquerque on the art. That sounds pretty sick, man. I'm loving the Absolute Universe, and I'm sure that this series is going to be great. Then the other series he's talking about is a crossover series from Gabriel Hardman, I think is the creator. He's doing a DC Black Label series that ties together Batman, The Question, and Green Arrow. So all 3 of them working in sort of a crossover DC Black Label series. So I think that's what Chris Condon's talking about here, man. And let me just be frank. If that's the trade, like cutting this ongoing series to get those 2, I would not take that trade. I don't want anybody to take that trade. That's a losing trade in my opinion, dude. Because this Green Arrow series was legitimately my favorite, one of my favorite DC comic books on stands. It was awesome. Montos on the art. Very, I don't know how you describe the artwork. It was very realistic looking. Like it kind of looked like a Andriana Sorrentino kind of look to me, right? I just really like look at the different like pencil lines and stuff like that. I love all the kind of thin, wispy look all throughout. Great action. I mean, great movement. Very dynamic artwork all throughout. And they also had Adriano Lucas as the colorist for this series, man. So really just taking all sorts of L's, man, over here because losing the writer, losing the great artist, excellent colorist too. Chris Condon writes that he's really disappointed by this. He was enjoying writing the character and exploring the Star City with Montos and the great team on the title. He had some vague plans of what they were going to do. Maybe a possible crossover with the Batgirl series, but his title got axed before they even got the chance, man. So this is just an absolute shame. One of the best comic book series on stands, and they're canceling it. So sad, dude, so sad. But they're also canceling another series, dude, because we got word from Kelly Thompson that it looks like Birds of Prey is getting canceled as well. Absolutely devastating stuff. Kelly Thompson writes that people have figured out that Birds of Prey is ending in December with issue number 28. Saying goodbye to a title you love doesn't get easy, but having a longer run as we did here and having some notice so you can end the run on a better foot helps how you feel about it. Man, so how I felt about this Birds of Prey series. It was never like a top series over at DC, but it was so consistently good, dude. I would give each issue like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10, right? Just the most consistent series on stands. I had the joy of collecting it all the way from the start. I will say that maybe the first arc was the high point for the series, but every arc after that was still really good. You're getting that great dynamic with all the different birds at play. When Barbara Gordon entered the series, later came back into the Birds of Prey, that was really fun too. But it really focuses on me. Like the focus for me was on Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, and Barda. Their relationship was so good. I was loving reading that every single month. And it really stinks to see that go as well because we don't know. Obviously, Cassandra Cain has her own series right now. Big Barda, the New God series, getting canceled as well. Where are we going to see Big Barda end up, man? Really important character at DC. She's got to be there somewhere. And then, really sad too, obviously we get Black Canary and her sister. That was a dynamic that I didn't know too much about going into the series. I didn't know too much about Sin, but she really grew to be one of my favorite characters in the Birds of Prey cast. And yeah, just losing a Black Canary-led series, I mean, that's just a shame too. And let me just read a little bit more here, because Kelly Thompson is saying that a lot of people might think that it was her decision to cancel the series. She explains that it was not her decision at all. It just seems like DC wasn't really seeing the kind of sales that they were looking for this series. And Kelly Thompson talks about in this Substack article that she wrote, she talks about how her idea was maybe to kind of reboot the birds, maybe give them like a second breath of life, but it looks like it didn't come to fruition and DC decided to give it an axe, give the series an axe before she could sort of rework that pitch. And, you know, obviously we're getting Kelly Thompson writing the excellent Absolute Wonder Woman series. And I think that, I'm trying to think if Kelly Thompson's writing another DC series. I don't know right now. But obviously this Birds of Prey series, man, was going on for so long. It was so fun. She talks about how she is committed to working with DC and how she's excited to be doing another book there. She's not going anywhere, so that's good. We're still going to be seeing some Kelly Thompson written stuff out of DC. She's just killing it, man. One of my favorite writers in the game right now, and the Birds of Prey series was a big part of that. Finally, last but not least, let's talk about this New God series, man. So the New God series is also coming to an end. This one is a little bit interesting though, because I think it was planned as a 12-issue series, but we were all hoping that it would continue a little bit beyond that. It looks like Ron V has confirmed that the New Gods is ending after issue number 12, at least for now, right? So he writes in his Fly By Soul. This is like his little, sort of like a Substack, you know, he posts updates and stuff on that. He talks about how his different career moves, right? So at the end of July, he said that DC came to him and was saying, hey, you want to know if you want to re-extend your exclusive contract or whatever. And Ron V decided to not re-sign with DC for an exclusive. He decided to, you know, potentially work on some of his own creator-owned stuff. And from Ron V, that doesn't surprise me a lot. Ron V, very well known in the creator field. I mean, doing the One Hand, Six Fingers, excellent series that won him an Eisner with Dan Waters and the rest of the team. And obviously, he does the you know, Many That's a Layla Star. He's doing Rare Flavors and stuff like that. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Ron V wouldn't want to be locked down to doing Cape comics for a long time. It makes sense that he would want to do some more creative. It says here he's getting like itchy feet working on superhero stuff, and he doesn't want to be in the monthly churn that superhero comics kind of necessitate, right? He talks about wanting to be a freelancer and kind of go back to that roots. He had a lovely call with DC. There was an exclusive offer, but he decided to take a break from monthly superhero comic books. He says down here though that he's still got plans for a Green Lantern idea that he's been mulling over. So someday that might be cool to see come to fruition. He also talks about how he has some New Gods arcs as well, and he talks about that there's a lot of stuff over at Marvel that he hasn't been able to do yet. So yeah, it seems like Ron V kind of winding down his DC output, which is a little bit of a shame, dude. I was loving Resurrection Man. The New God series was like a lightning bolt, dude. I was loving it. Evan Cagle on the artwork. Although I thought that the series started a lot better than maybe kind of where it is right now, kind of how the series shook out overall, it's still my first ever New God series, and I was still loving it, man. So it really is a shame to see the New God series coming to an end. But I don't know, guys. Does that make sense? I was just yapping in this one, but the New God series coming to an end. Absolute shame. Absolute shame. The Birds of Prey series getting canceled at issue 28. When it's a series that Kelly Thompson wanted to keep going, just couldn't see it happen, man. So that's a shame. And then finally, the Green Arrow series, man. The series that didn't get nearly long enough as it needed to cook. The first arc was excellent with the Freshwater Killer. The second arc is even better. We're in the middle of the second arc right now, and that's when they decided to cancel it, man. So an absolute shame. This is one of the best books on stands at DC, and it's no more, dudes. That's what we got today. 3 series that are sort of canceled or you know, stopped over at DC. My thoughts about them. Super sad. Like if you like, sub if you love. Let me know down in the comments. You reading any of these? Does the news hit you as hard as it hit me? Thank you guys for watching and read more comics. Welcome back, everybody, to Weekly Comic Book Reviews. We got 10 comic books that I wanted to review from last week, New Comic Book Day. This is September 24th stuff we're talking about. Give you guys a little bit of a look, a little bit of a taste. We got a lot of great stuff from the indie comics especially. We got really great stuff from DC Comics, the Absolute Wonder Woman, of course. In fact, that's what we're starting with, dude. The Absolute Wonder Woman. It's got to be my favorite issue that I read last week. Such a good way to conclude this, I guess you can consider it the third arc of this Wonder Woman series. Hayden Sherman on the art, Kelly Thompson, they're just killing it. I really love the way this ended, man. And this confirmed to me, this is indeed my favorite Absolute title. It's been a long time going between Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman. They've been going back and forth, but I just love the way this one concluded, man. It's Diana just solving problems in the most creative way possible. She's so full of compassion and love, and it really just comes right off the page. And of course, you get that excellent artwork, that excellent paneling from Hayden Sherman. Really cool, epic moments. Diana with the trident, Atlantis trident or whatever, Poseidon's trident. So sick, dude. So I'm just loving this one. Great coloring as well from Triano Farrell. It's my absolute favorite Absolute title, dude. Absolute Wonder Woman number 12. Great way to end the arc. Let's also talk about a number 1 from last week, Skin Breaker from Image Comics. Robert Kirkman. We got David Finch on the artwork with Leone on the coloring and Wooten doing the lettering, dude. This was insane. Look at this first page, guys. Look how much rich detail is in each page. It's insane stuff from David Finch. Comic books typically are not as detailed and well thought out as far as the art side as this series here. So I think we're gonna be in for a treat with the Skinbreaker series. Sort of like this tribe community. You've got the elder who's kind of leading the tribe. He's getting up there in age, right? And he's supposed to pass on the mantle, but to do that, it's by a trial of combat. And he's trying to pass on the mantle to, I believe it's his son, right? But his son doesn't want to take up that mantle because that means that his dad has to die or whatever. We get an evil guy in the tribe. He's kind of like the competitor to our main character here. And he sort of wants to take over the tribe for himself. This world that we're living in, I don't know if they're aliens, they're kind of like trolls, right? It gives me like some high fantasy sort of flavors in this series. And just the artwork is spectacular from David Finch, man. So I really think the series is not one to miss. Pretty good stuff from Image Comics Skybound. Just crazy on art, dude. Let's talk about Escape, another series with excellent artwork. Rick Remender written, though, with Daniel Acuna on art. It's excellent, man. So in the last issue, we know that this guy, he's on a bombing mission in World War II. He's trying to take out the Nazis, man. And his plane goes down, but he realizes that, hey, this is the last shot to end the war possibly once and for good. So he's behind enemy lines, and he's got to complete this mission to take out this giant cannon that the Nazis are using to take out a lot of our airplanes and stuff like that. But most of this issue focuses on kind of like the fight that this guy, like the reason why he's in the fight, right? So it gets into how he met his wife. Of course, they're having a kid and stuff like that, growing to love each other. So it's just like a really close and personal sort of story. And it kind of sets up the stakes for why this guy, like why it's so important for him to complete his mission in the war, in the World War II. Just excellent artwork from Daniel Acuna. I love his art style, man. It's so cool, it's so fluid, just so much character and personality in each page, in each panel. This is a series not to miss. It's one of my favorites of the year right now. Definitely check out Escape. Let's also talk about Superman number 30. I loved Superman, dude. This was excellent. I'm so glad I'm continuing with this series. It's kind of a setup for what's going on with DCKO and all the dark side, his passing and stuff like that. It's in the future, and it's Superman with Superman Prime, who has maybe turned evil, right? He's working with the Legion of Darkseid to take over the future, and their plan is to take over the past as well. And, that's not good, so Superman's got to try to stop him. And yeah, man, I'm just loving this Dan Mora artwork. I really think that it's just a fun series out of DC, man. 30 issues in, and I'm having a blast. Joshua Williamson writing my first ever Superman title that I've been pulling, man, and I'm just having a ton of fun with it. 30 issues in. The Invisible Man, issue number 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of issue number 1. I thought it had a lot of promise for the series, but like I like the concept and I like the characterization. It's kind of like this slow, brooding sort of story. You can see it kind of simmering. Maybe it'll boil over at some point. He hasn't become the Invisible Man yet. It's kind of like the setup to that. He's just working on these experiments. He's not telling anybody what the experiments are. He has made this cat invisible, and now the cat's like terrorizing the town, right? So we'll have to see in the next issue if he finally, transformed into the Invisible Man. We start seeing the pieces getting put together with the sunglasses, right? So the character is being built slowly but surely. But I thought this issue number 2 was a big step up from issue 1, and I'm loving all the Universal Monster stuff, man. Definitely check out Invisible Man with that great artwork from Denis. Ultimate Hawkeye number 1. I loved it. It's like a spy espionage sort of angle in the Ultimate Universe. I think this Hawkeye character is so cool. And I thought the art was really cool too. It's just this Hawkeye character going in like a deep cover mission, right? So we'll have to see if this series just has more of that, like more of this Hawkeye going on these sort of covert ops missions. But this is probably my favorite new character that they've introduced. This new take on Hawkeye is just so cool, man. So I'd recommend checking this out. It was definitely a surprise. Maybe not a must pick up, but if you're into the Ultimate Universe, this is a highlight from the Ultimate Universe. So if that sounds pretty cool to you, check it out. Let's talk about news from the Fallout, issue number 4. Chris Condon writing this series. I say it all the time, but it's like a Twilight Zone episode, man. So they've escaped the diner. They're still getting chased by these zombie-like creatures created by the government, dropping a bomb on them or whatever. Get a little bit of action in this as we see our military guy throwing a knife you know, kicking out somebody's legs, making them fall over and stuff. But just look at this art style from Jeffrey Allen Love. So unique. Comics don't look like this. It's a very unique kind of style, and I think it really works for this series. Definitely recommend checking it out in a trade. I think it's going for 6 issues, and then the series will be over. Definitely check it out. Chris Condon, a name you guys want to keep track of. He's a writer that's just killing it. Speaking of Chris Condon, we got Green Arrow number 28. Sad days that this series is getting canceled, but I did a whole video on that, so you gotta definitely check that out if you want to hear me yapping about that. But this was a great issue, just continuing this great story from Chris Condon with the artwork from Montos. Such a cool look for Green Arrow. I love Montos' style. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's doing next in the next title he's jumping on. Look at how much, I don't know, how much detail he puts into it with the pencil lines. It's also wispy. I just think it's sick, man. And this arc has the potential to be even better than the first one, man, which is so crazy. But it's such a shame that they canceled it, dude. So not enough people are picking up this series, even though it was a highlight out of DC. And that's a damn shame, dude. That was a highlight out of DC for me. 2 more issues. Let's talk about Ultimate Spider-Man number 21. Not my favorite issue of the series. I think it really has to do with the fact that Messina, I'm just not a fan of Messina's artwork. This one was probably the best example of Messina's artwork, though, I do have to say. I guess it kind of is a lead up to the end of this kind of Ultimate Spider-Man volume, right? That's kind of what they're leading towards. I just wasn't a big fan of this issue in particular. I'm more down on the Ultimate Spider-Man series than a lot of people. I think personally I've been liking the Ultimate series a lot more. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling about the Ultimate Spider-Man. I just feel like it's taken a couple notches down. I don't really know how I feel about the series at this point. From where it started was so hyped, dude. But nowadays, not sure. Ultimate Spider-Man number 21. Let's finish it off by talking about the new history of the DC Universe. Issue number 3. Just loving what Mark Waid's doing here. It's such a tall task to try to do this, right? Each page is trying to cover so much history. Like, this is all the Bat family history in, I guess, like the late 80s and 90s. And all the different characters that are getting introduced. It's a total lesson on the DC Universe from Mark Waid, someone who really appreciates and loves the DC Universe. You can really tell. As we see here, we got the, you know, the Hush storyline. We got some Teen Titans stuff as well. Just loving everything that Mark Waid's doing here, how he's summing it up. Loving all that Chris Samney covers as well. But that's what we got. All the weekly comic book reviews that I want to talk about for September 24th, dude. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you read any of these. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics.